From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, December 18th, 2015. Silver is trading at $13.85 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,058 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $463. Antiwar.com reports a U.S. military ground operation began and ended without much fanfare earlier this week in Libya, according to the Pentagon on Thursday, in a shockingly bungled effort to secretly establish a presence of U.S. special operations in the country. A group of about 20 U.S. soldiers armed with assault rifles and bulletproof vests, but conspicuously not wearing uniforms, showed up in the Watia Air Base just south of Tripoli on Monday. Pictures of the U.S. troops were published by the Libyan Air Force on their Facebook page. The Air Force pointed out that the troops arrived with no coordination and apparently no approval, though the Pentagon claims to have gotten an okay from some government faction or another, but apparently not the right ones, as local commanders quickly demanded that the U.S. troops leave, and the Pentagon says they did to avoid a conflict. Pentagon officials further claim the deployment was a training mission aimed at enhancing ties with the Libyan National Army, but did not explain why they sent the troops in wholly unannounced, nor why the troops were clearly combat ready but out of uniform. Recent conferences on Libya among NATO members, including one earlier this month in Rome, have had several nations talking up the idea of sending troops. It is surprising to learn then that the U.S. went first, bungling their way into Libya and almost immediately getting chased out. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports federal student loan servicers will face performance-based scrutiny to provide borrowers with a higher quality of service under the omnibus spending bill, a move that could be a big win for nonprofit companies that manage education debt payments for the government. Lawmakers are requiring the Department of Education to dump the formula that gives preference to four major servicers, Navient, Nelnet, Great Lakes, and American Education Services, and instead to divvy up accounts on the basis of their performance compared to all loan servicers utilizing established common metrics and on the basis of the capacity of each servicer to process new and existing accounts. Currently, the four companies manage nearly 70% of the $1.2 trillion in outstanding federal student loans, even though there are 10 servicers contracted to manage the loans. The loans are divvied up based on how they score on 2 customer satisfaction surveys and 3 default prevention metrics. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a rash of email and phone threats of violence hit schools on Thursday from New Jersey to Washington, D.C., and from Florida to California, but most were deemed to be hoaxes and schools were opened. However, 3 suburban Indianapolis school districts reported potentially serious threats, with 2 districts shutting down on Thursday and another canceling classes for Friday. Overnight, 2 students from Danville High School west of Indianapolis were arrested, accused of separate sets of threats made on Wednesday before the social media threats that prompted the closures. Officials were on heightened alerts after the deadly attacks in San Bernardino, California on December 2nd. On Tuesday, Los Angeles shut down schools over emailed threats that later were deemed a hoax. School districts in Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Orlando, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Miami, Florida, and San Francisco, California all decided on Thursday that emailed threats were not credible and were similar to the ones sent to schools in New York City and Los Angeles earlier in the week. An all clear was given after bomb threats on Thursday at East Orange Campus High School in New Jersey and Anacostia and Frank W. Ballou Senior High Schools in Washington, D.C. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.